As we enjoy the highlights of New Zealand's second game in the Benson and Hedges World Cup, there was that thought, niggling, tucked away in the back of the mind, that maybe that great win on Saturday was too hard an act to follow. The team had to forget that win as much as they could and start all over again with today's game with Sri Lanka. Martin Crowe won the toss and put the Sri Lankans in.
So away we go then, the first ball of this match between New Zealand and Sri Lanka. Morrison to Mahanama. Frustration, he went for it, and one bounce down to Patel, at least Jones. Well, that was, he really chased that one, Samasekara, and I think he's hurt himself here too. Looks like the hamstring might have gone.
Yes, he's, you said he managed to get onto that one, didn't he? But he could have been out too, but he's obviously got something wrong with his leg.
Here's the runner making marks on the good shot from Samasekara, and that's going to be the first boundary of the morning. That was a good shot. He didn't have too much room, but hampered by this leg injury, he still hit it very well through the cover boundary. Oh, over the top again, he might be out. He's caught by John Wright. So Samasekara's gone. Watson gets the first wicket. It's the sixth over bowl, and Jay has come out to run for Samasekara, but didn't need to be there for too long because Samasekara is out, caught by Wright, bowled by Watson for 9. It's 18 for 1.
Yes, well, he tried the big hit there over mid-off, didn't quite get over the field there. John Wright taking a very simple catch. A good breakthrough for New Zealand, the early wicket, and probably well deserved too.
Well, bad luck for Sri Lanka. Samasekara injured his leg. You can see him walking off with Jay, the runner. It's a good shot from Mahanama. Larson hesitated before he started. I think he thought that Jones was going to get it. And so that gives the chance for the extra run. They'll have to hurry. They'll have to really hurry. Bit of drama for the end of the over. It's a good drive, a lovely drive through the offside from Mahanama. No chance for the fielders, 4 runs.
Well, that's the first drive of the day that's really pierced the cover field, certainly off the front foot. There has been one off the back foot, but that really was a magnificent shot, leaving the cover fieldsman absolutely no chance of cutting that one off. The first time really that Watson has really over-pitched, and Mahanama there very severe on that, and that's just raced away to the boundary.
Ball very nearly carrying to gully, but not quite. Mahanama cutting it, not keeping it down that well. Ken Rutherford there, the fieldsman, and just dropping short. Ball hooking it away, good shot by Gurusingha. That'll go away for 4, dropping short, angling down leg side, and 4 runs. Yes, it was surprising. Oh, quick single here. No, he sent back, and then they had that hit. That might have been out. And in the end, they get the single, but it's a hard way round. So Gurusingha sent back wisely because there was no single there.
I don't know what he was doing. He was going for a walk in the garden, wasn't it?
Yes. Oh, dear me, look at this. Oh, he's nicked it. Loud appeal, and hang on, Mr. Reporter says wait, and he says out. Just checking that the ball carried, and umpire Shepherd at square leg says yes, in fact he's standing at point, and so the second Sri Lankan wicket has gone. Gurusingha making his way to the pavilion, and he is out for 9.
Gurusingha reached for it, so look at it. Yes, what a good one. The angled delivery brought it in towards the off stump, then it straightened, didn't it? Rather more than held its own on pitching, just went away, caught the edge of the bat. Smith took it low down, and quite properly, Mr. Reporter, the umpire at that end, looked across to David Shepherd, the umpire at square leg, who nodded his head, said it had carried, and Gurusingha is history.
And that's a good shot from Aravinda. Chase for Watson, and he won't get it. through the gap. There's going to be a big chase there for Latham. He will not even get close to it. Quick outfield. A wee bit of rain that we've had this morning has not slowed the outfield. And so another boundary. It's only the second boundary Mahanama's had.
Well, Gavin Larson, he won't be happy with that. He prides himself on bowling tight line length, just a little bit short outside the off stump. Mahanama having enough time to get back and force that through the offside.
Big half volley, and he's got this one away, and that should run away. It's quite quick out there, the boundary, the outfield. So there's the 100 up from Sri Lanka. It's been slow going. They were sent into bat this morning, and they really haven't got the score going at all, but the 100 coming up in the 30th over. And he's got the single here to bring up his 50, Mahanama. He's coming back for 2. It might be tight. Willie Watson a little bit slow in getting it back. So 2 runs to Mahanama, and he brings up his 50s onto 51. Let's have a look at the wagon wheel. Plenty of dabs on both sides of the wicket. Only 3 boundaries.
Nicely played by De Silva. A little bit of lift there for Patel, and my word, that's run away quickly, hasn't it? Well, that just shows you how quick the outfield is. He didn't seem to put much on that, but it absolutely flew to the fence. This will be tight. He's out. Marvellous play by Chris Harris again. And Aravinda De Silva short of his ground. He's run out. 120 for 3.
Yes, well, it probably had to happen. We're going to see here. It wasn't really a single look in it. A fielder like Harris, you don't take those risks. He's not even in the picture.
Now, brilliant fielding from Chris Harris. Aravinda out for 31. And in the 34th over, Sri Lanka 120 for 3. Yeah, he's got a hold of that one. He got plenty on that, and it flew past to Willie Watson. And 4 runs off the last ball of the over from Morrison.
Yes, here we go. Danny just guilty of just being a little on leg stump. He came across a long way to play it, though. And he played that well behind square. It really raced away to the boundary.
And hit firmly through the offside by Ranatunga. And Latham concedes a boundary.
Well, this is what the Sri Lankans have to do now. Anything that's a little bit wayward, they've got to take toll of. And they might have to take 1 or 2 risks as well. But that was very wide. I think had he let it go, it would have been signalled wide. But I'm sure Ranatunga would have preferred the 4 runs instead. And really did wallop that one, didn't he?
Ranatunga goes high, wide, handsome, and 4. Oh, it's beaten him, and it's going to bring up the 150 for Sri Lanka with an edgy shot, which doesn't give Morrison any pleasure at all, and it takes Mahanama to 65.
Well, that was very well bowled by Morrison, a quick delivery, and I tell you what, he bowled that beautifully. But of course, in one-day cricket with no slip there, anything that hits the fine edge or outside edge of the bat's just going to race away for 4 runs. He's done that. In fact, 9 runs have already come off this over.
And here's another, well, it's a good shot. It's beaten the field, and Ken Rutherford, the sweeper way out there, he can't get round to it. And Mr. Reporter with a very interesting style. Oh, he swung this away, high, wide, and handsome. He's gone. Taken out there by Ken Rutherford. Ranatunga trying to up the rate. Swung it high, wide, and handsome, but not far enough. And he's taken on the mid-wicket boundary.
What a fine catch that was, and Rutherford never looked like missing it. He hit it very well indeed, not quite hard enough for his own purposes. That was a massive blow, and Ken Rutherford, just watch him, he had it completely under control. Lovely catch, both feet off the ground, and everything looks splendid. 172 for 4.
And he's gone. Cotton bowled. Well, Chris Harris picks that up as Mahanama goes to drive. He can't keep it down, and Chris Harris takes a very good cotton bowl.
Yes, that was a fine catch. Those ones either stick or don't. But he did very well to control himself once the ball was upon him. Again, Mahanama driving when reaching for it a little bit, walking as he played the stroke, but he hit it well. And well done, Harris.
So, the new man, Tilakaratne, coming out to face a hat-trick. Disallowed appeal, but umpire reporter says no and signals leg byes.
There's another nudge for a single. Looking for a second, and hesitation. Should be run out. And is well and truly. Just that moment's hesitation. And Sri Lanka lose another wicket.
Yes, we'll see here in the replay. Ball hit just behind square. The man off the fence came in very quickly, really attacked the ball. We'll see here, picked it up. Larson, and a very good throw right over the stumps. Great piece of cricket. New Zealand has certainly got back into this game, haven't they? Sri Lanka have lost wickets at times when they shouldn't have.
Here is the Manhattan, if you like, and there was a little acceleration just after the 40th over, but it's fallen away again. You can see that. Went after it and got caught. New Zealand skipper takes the catch. Tilakaratne goes for 8. And in the 48th over, Sri Lanka lose their 7th wicket at 195.
Yes, we're going to say he decides to get after it, but hit it in the air. There's that man at short cover, and good catch, Martin Crowe. Well, once again, Sri Lanka put more pressure on themselves.
Tilakaratne departs for 8. Vijay to face. They've had a bit of a chat. He's after it. I think Ramanayake came out and said, look, we really have to get on with this. Ramanayake running for all his worth makes it. Good throw by Morrison. Worked away by Vijay. There's going to be a run out here. Ramanayake is stranded. Rod Latham fielded cleanly. Ramanayake running blind, really. He didn't look to see where the ball had gone. Vijay tried to send him back. It was too late. And Ramanayake is run out for 2.
Yes, we see here, this is suicide. Straight to the fielder. There was never going to be a run there. Just the clean pickup, return. It's the pressure of the one-day game. Sri Lanka have got themselves into this position by the way they've batted in the last 10 or 12 overs.
Latham had a quick look and he could see that Ramanayake was absolutely stranded mid-pitch. And it's goodbye. And he does get a single finally, so Sri Lanka bring up their 200 at the end of the 49th over. They're 200 for the loss of 8 wickets. So the last over starting now. Watson in the air and a chance for a catch. Gavin Larson holds it. Vijay goes, and that's 9 wickets down now for Sri Lanka in the 50th over, 202 for 9.
On the replay here, he had to go after it. Full ball. But didn't get enough bat on it. Got it high up the bat, and Larson, once again, that man Larson, he's been in everything today, hasn't he? He's been involved in run-outs, he bowled well, and that was a good catch. Well judged.
Long time to wait, but safely held by Gavin Larson, so Vijay out for 11. Swing and a miss. Watson bowling it very full.
Just a shame, it was just a little wide there. In fact, it didn't miss by much, did it?
Lofted away nicely. Now he should get 2 here. Great Batch cruising round from mid-wicket. Lovely flat throw by Mark Greatbatch. Watson. It's going to be a scintillating one. So that is the end of Sri Lanka's batting display here at Trustbank Park. And they finish on 206 for 9. So New Zealand have done well after Martin Crowe decided to send them in.
206 for 9 after 50 overs. The final Sri Lankan total, a score that can only be regarded really as an average one, and one which is certainly beatable as far as New Zealand are concerned. The top scorer, Roshan Mahanama, the opening batsman, he made a fine 80. Aravinda de Silva made 31. Ranatunga made 20. There wasn't too much in the lower half of the order, and only 12 boundaries were scored in that Sri Lankan score. Look at the New Zealand bowling figures. Willie Watson, the most successful, 3 for 37 from 10 overs. Chris Harris also took 3 wickets, 2 in consecutive balls. But a word once again about the bowling of Gavin Larson. 10 overs, 1 maiden, no wicket for 29, and Deepak Patel did well as well, going for less than 4 runs and over. 9 overs, none for 32.
First ball. Ramanaka driving and runs for right, and he starts with a boundary. The World Cup's underway for John Wright.
John Wright's very good off his legs here. He demonstrated that magnificently when New Zealand played Zimbabwe at Rotorua. Really played his shots quite magnificently, and that's a typical John Wright shot, forcing it through mid-wicket for 4.
Wright goes again over the top, 3 mid-wicket. Don't run, John Wright, that's 4. It's a lovely 4. Thank you very much, Mr. Reporter.
Well, also, Peter, the bowler is too short. I think it's a lot easier to pronounce. But obviously the Sri Lankan bowlers, they've had a lot of their preparation in Australia on the harder pitches there, which they get a little more bounce. But here in New Zealand, you've got to bowl a lot fuller than that.
Latham down the ground. That's a magnificent shot for Latham to start.
Rod Latham likes to drive the ball, bit of a front foot player there, had a bit of room to free his arms too, and really hit that one very, very hard indeed, straight back really through mid-off. In fact, mid-off is a lot wider. I would have thought he may have been just a little bit straighter, but that's 4 runs. That's a very confident shot there by Latham.
Ramoja Wickramasinghe to right. And he's going again in the air through mid-wicket, and that's hit well too by John Wright. That's his 3rd 4.
Well, again, John Wright, very severe on anything short, likes to just get back onto the crease and to pull, but this must be very disconcerting for Aravinda de Silva, the Sri Lankan captain. I'm sure the fielders are somewhat disappointed, let alone the bowler.
Latham going over the top. He didn't quite get onto it, but he hit it well enough to clear the fielders. It won't go all the way. And Jayasuriya, who's very quick in the field, drags it in.
Oh, dear me, that came back. And really tucked Rod Latham up, cut him in half.
As we're seeing here, this ball did seam back a lot. It was bowled. It was a quicker ball. He put a lot more effort into that. It was well bowled, that. Rod Latham was a little lucky that ball bounced.
Yes, that could have had a nasty effect on stump vision as well.
Mr. Reporter obviously doesn't know how to fix the electrical side of whatever it is.
No, he's come an eye together. Good shot. Beautifully timed. That's 4.
Well, that was the shot that Latham was trying to play to the previous ball. That one was just a little wider and it stayed out there, and here we go again. Plenty of room. Strong off the back foot. 4 runs.
Oh, lovely shot.
That was a beautiful stroke. That's right at his very best. They won't stop that. That's 4 runs. Gurasena can run forever and a day and he'll never catch up with that. But John Wright batting marvellously well. And maybe he needed the shoulder injury just to tune him up.
Yes, he looked a bit determined, didn't he? And it's a good opportunity for him in this game. The Sri Lankan attack, probably not as demanding as some of the others in the competition.
And not a good day for him on Saturday. John Wright getting out for a duck. That was a super shot. And Wickramasinga, the bowler. This is 4 more. No fine leg. You pay the penalty if you stray down leg in that situation. And John Wright races on to 26.
What a marvellous piece of fielding that was.
Yes, Mahanama. John Wright down the wicket. He's tried to hit it over the top. He's just cleared Aravinda De Silva, who's after it. And that'll be the 50 up for New Zealand. A slightly streaky shot from John Wright. He gets away with it, but New Zealand bring their 50 up. A little bit of turn here, and that'll be 4. That'll run away to the vacant third-man boundary. And the outfield's pretty quick here. It's a bit deceptive. Once it gets out there, it tends to just run on. And a super crowd. Lots of school children around.
That was uppish too. It was a thick edge. Had there been someone there in the gully?
A really gentle little run in from Kapalgi, and that's 4 more. So this is an expensive over. And there's more runs, so that'll run away for 4, I would think. A long chase, and just pulled back. Well done. And Wickramasinga, a long chase, and does well. And runs immediately for John Wright. That was a lovely shot, very well timed. No real power, but it just kept on going.
There's a lovely fluency about his stroke play this afternoon, isn't there?
Oh, lovely shot. That'll be 4. No question about that.
You see, what Wright is showing the Sri Lankans is that when you get the short one with a bit of width, the loose ball, in fact, you've got to hit it for 4. They didn't hit many of them for 4, and that was why, one of the reasons why, they only made 206.
Driving, that's a good shot. Oh, and he beats the fielder out there. That was going just too quickly for Gurasinger. And Kalpajay not happy. Latham will be delighted, even though the face doesn't show it. Driving down the ground, and that's his 50. Wright just brings it up with a lovely stroke. It's his 24th one-day 50 for New Zealand, and his third, in fact, in World Cup.
And he's hit 8 boundaries in that 2-peater. In other words, he's been very severe at anything short, anything wide, anything full. He's really punished those balls to the boundary and picked up some very good singles. 67 balls, that's a very good strike rate, isn't it? 74.6.
Oh, that's bowled in. Poor shot from Latham. Didn't move his feet at all. Played a nothing shot, really, and it's got through his defence. Latham out for 20. New Zealand have lost their first wicket at 77.
Well, I'm not so sure it's going to change the game too much, but really Rod Latham should have come forward to that one. That ball did turn quite sharply, but unfortunate. Probably anyone that's turned all day. But New Zealand lose their first wicket, 77 for 1, 18th over.
He's hit it in the air, but he's hit it safely in the gap between mid-wicket and long on. He's got 4. Placed to perfection by John Wright, and he's gone through to 55.
And he's out, John Wright. He's caught and bowled. Caught and bowled by Kalpajay. And Sri Lanka have their second wicket. John Wright is out for 57. And New Zealand are 90 for 2 in the 23rd over.
Yes, once again, we're going to see that ball was well up there. Wright got forward to it. Didn't quite get to the pitch of the ball. And it was a very good catch. Caught low down, changing direction, and he's followed through. It's well batted, John Wright. He's batted really,
He did, he batted well. 57, John Wright.
And that's played away on the leg side, Martin Crowe. And he'll pick up 2. So Anarasuri, the left arm spinner, and that's the 100 up for New Zealand. They're calling for a run here, Andrew Jones, and Ranatunga, that's sloppy fielding out there, one hand, and then he kicked the ball on, and it's a bit tight. Andrew Jones coming back, but umpire Shepherd says no, you're in.
That was actually a good bit of fielding in the end, but Ranatunga had a bit of bad luck. He did well to stop the ball, it bounced out of his hand, and he couldn't stop himself from kicking it away.
So Anarasuri firing it in, and it was a good throw, but Andrew Jones well home. Hooked away. Oh, he could be caught. He is caught. Martin Crowe is caught.
Well, that is really a body blow for New Zealand, a rank long hop, and it just shows you how these bad balls can get wickets. He hit it straight down, is it Champaka Ramanaka? I think it was down there at deep fine leg. He took a difficult catch. Well, it was going, travelling at a great rate. It had gone right through him and he missed it.
So a short delivery from Wickramasinghe, and down it went. So Martin Crowe out. That's tragedy for New Zealand. 105 for 3.
Oh, it's a big shot in the air, but he's going to be safe. Andrew Jones hits it well enough and gets it down to long on for 4.
Well, that's the first sign of aggression by Andrew Jones, particularly off Anarasuri. I mean, it could have gone straight up in the air too, couldn't it, Peter? My word.
They'll have to hurry because Jayasiri is a left-hander and close. Well, that's what happens when pressure's on. They're going to get another one too. That's untidy. Messy stuff.
Very poor cricket from Sri Lanka.
Big hit by Rutherford. And 6. Just made it over the boundary. Well, that's a big boundary out there. That was a huge hit by Rutherford.
Yes, that ball pitched outside off. It was in the slot, really. Gentle medium pace delivery. Rutherford just put his foot down the wicket and swung it right over mid-wicket for 6.
That's nicely driven by Jones. That's through. Rather over pitch from Kelpage, and Andrew Jones takes toll.
Yes, this one was right in the slot, as they say. Full. Jones got onto the front foot. He only had to beat one of those men on the inner ring. No one sweeping, and the result was 4 runs.
And Andrew Jones goes for the big shot and hits it very well to the extra cover boundary for 4.
Well, you see, that's what you can do to the medium pacers, which they can't do and won't do to the spinners, because there's much more likelihood that the ball's going vertically into the air then. But that was a fine shot, and just exactly the sort of welcome riposte that New Zealand needed.
He's got hold of this one, and he
That's
hit it
exactly
well.
where he should hit the
And it's 4. Good shot. Short, wide, and umpire Mr. Reporter leaves the scorers in no doubt. 4 runs.
I can't work out the thinking behind Mr. Reporter. It's the vigorous signal for the scorer, then it's the more laid-back, leisurely sweep of the arms to the scoreboard.
Yes. Interesting style, isn't it?
It was a good shot, that, though. It was wide, it was short, it was asking for it, and it got it.
And short again, pulled away just over the head of Gurusinghe, and it races away for 4 more. Pulling it away, Ken Rutherford. It wasn't too far from the outstretched hands of Gurusinghe, but it went away for 4. And just picking it up, Ken Rutherford. And in this field out there, that'll run away for 4.
Well, that was a clumsy piece of fielding.
Kalpage down there behind square. That's sloppy stuff.
We're taking a kill for AW. He might be close. Umpire Reporters looks at it and says, well, how can I give you that? Because I couldn't see it. Gurusinghe stood right in front of it. Won't have another look at that. Bob Cunis has come back with me.
I don't know if he did run across in front of him, but I looked to me as if it could have been going down leg side, Peter.
I think that too, but look at the umpire. He gave the indication that, well, I didn't really see it. It's in the air. He's caught. Jayasuri has got it. So Jones is gone. One short of 50. Caught Jayasuriya, bowled Gurusingha for 49. It's 186 for 4.
Yes, well, we see here this ball was up on leg stump. Perhaps the pace of the wicket did Jones there. A little bit lazy. I think he managed to hit it over that man in close, but he only succeeded in hitting it to him. But well played, Jones. He's done a marvellous job for New Zealand. Picked up the run rate with New Zealand. We're struggling there for a while. 2 new batsmen at the crease, but he's batted well.
So maybe the pressure coming back on to New Zealand. They've lost a wicket, 186 for 4 now. Rutherford's still there, but Jones is gone. Caught Jayasuriya, bowled Gurusingha for 49. Oh, Rutherford goes high, wide and handsome over mid-wicket for a magnificent 4. That's so easy for his 50. A magnificent stroke to complete a very fine innings from Ken Rutherford. His 13th one-day 50, his 3rd in World Cup matches.
Yes, this ball, as we're going to see, was pitched in short. Rutherford quickly into position. No one out there. Good, strong shot. And if we look at his wagon wheel here, we see that he's got his share of boundaries. He's also
just 4 though, just 4 and 1 6, of course. 6, a magnificent stroke over mid-wicket. And then a couple of other boundaries, mostly on the onside. In fact, looking at them, there's one being hit behind point, and all the rest on the onside.
Yep.
There's the 200 for New Zealand. They need just 7 further runs to take this match, and they've brought up the 200 in the 48th over.
Yep.
Well, that's through the gap, and that's going to go all the way because there's no one sweeping now. And Rutherford, once he got it through, he had enough pace on the ball to take it all the way. So it brings Mr. Reporter into action again.
Yes, he's made a few of those unusual signs that he makes for boundaries today, hasn't he? But that was a good shot. The Silvers brought the field in now to stop the ones. He realised that New Zealand could pick it up in ones. And it was a good shot from Rutherford.
2 runs needed, and Rutherford plays an uncertain shot. I love the signal from Pilo Reporter, and I think I'm going to call him from now on Conductor Reporter, because it's like a conductor of an orchestra. I'd like to see him signal 6. Wonder what he does. Probably jumps up in the air and throws his arms around. 205 for 4 it is. 2 runs needed. There's one of them. The scores are tied. New Zealand has still a couple of overs left, and they need 1 further run with 6 wickets in hand. A convincing effort by New Zealand. So after they restricted Sri Lanka to 206 for 9 from the 50 overs, it gave them a chance to be able to use their 50 overs on a pitch which has played very well, and that should have been quite easy.
And once again, Rutherford's come to the fore, 61 not out. Another innings when it was needed.
One run required by New Zealand. And Rutherford lifts it. And that is the winning runs, hit by Ken Rutherford. And Rutherford, the man of the match, takes off. As a scramble goes on out in the middle. But well batted Ken Rutherford, and New Zealand win their 2nd match at the Benson and Hedges World Cup, beating Sri Lanka here in Hamilton today by 6 wickets.
New Zealand sustains the flying start to the Benson and Hedges Cricket World Cup with a 6-wicket win. Comfortable enough in the end, although there were a few wobbles when Crowe was out and Rutherford was dropped 2 balls later. And New Zealand now leads the World Cup table with 4 points. After the match, Peter Williams was joined in the studio by Martin Crowe and National Sales Manager for Benson and Hedges, former New Zealand captain Bevan Congdon.
Well, again, Martin, I'd like to congratulate the team today. I thought it was very much of a workmanlike day today, wasn't it? It sort of seemed to go in a very much of a straightforward pattern right the way through.
Yeah, we were very happy with our overall performance. to restrict Sri Lanka to 200 was good after they looked likely to get a little bit more, and just sort of got there with an over so to spare.
I think the thing that I noticed today after having seen the game in Auckland was the marked sharpness of the team today in the field. To me it was quite noticeable that the team has lifted significantly.
And may it continue.
Yes, I agree.
Martin, were there any little worries in the New Zealand team at all when you wobbled a bit? Wright and Latham gave you such a flying start, didn't they? And then there was just the loss of 1 or 2 wickets there.
Yeah, you know, I personally was a bit disappointed in my innings, a little bit too careful. You still got to get 4 or 5 and over, and you don't want to put too much pressure on, you know, the guys later on. So that's a reminder. But some cool heads there. You know, Ken Rutherford again playing very well. Andrew Jones doing the job. So we're very happy with this win.
And all eyes on the TV set tomorrow night to watch South Africa's first appearance, because you've got them on Saturday.
Well, that's right, because we've never seen them play, really, and so we're looking forward to watching that tomorrow. It's a very important team-building exercise, and then, of course, we look forward to Saturday.
All right, Bevan, how do you think South Africa's going to go first up tomorrow?
That will be very interesting. They've got a lot of good players. I just wonder whether they will adjust quickly to the slow wickets in New Zealand. I think that will be the major test for them. And it's also, it's quite a challenge to come out and suddenly slot into what is pretty constant pressure in the game now. And as we go further down the line in the games, the pressure increases. So it will be quite a difficult test for them, but it will be exciting to watch them as well.
All right, Martin, so you're really looking forward to Saturday. And you're confident the way the team is now playing that you can make it 3 out of 3 on Saturday?
Sure, I think, you know, after beating Australia, we can fancy our chances against any side. We've just got to keep focusing on that next game, and of course Saturday's important to us because it gives us such a, you know, a good lead, if you like, going into the second half of the competition. So let's hope everyone comes along to Eden Park and supports us.
And what a match that promises to be. And if you're in the Auckland area on Saturday, come down to Eden Park because it's one of the occasions of the World Cup. But before we finish with New Zealand's game with Sri Lanka, there's the Ubix MVP Awards. Points are awarded by the One World of Sport commentary team to the 3 players they think contributed most to the New Zealand effort.
And the Ubix MVP for the New Zealand match against Sri Lanka here in Hamilton today has been won by John Wright. Chris Harris comes in second place and picks up 2 points in the series award, and Andrew Jones gets 1 point in the series award. So here's the progress now after 2 matches. Martin Crowe and John Wright have 3 apiece. Rod Latham and Chris Harris have 2 apiece. Andrew Jones and Ken Rutherford have 1 point apiece. But John Wright was the Ubix MVP today.
Ramanaka driving and runs for a right, and he starts with a boundary. The World Cup's underway for John Wright. Wright goes again over the top, 3 mid-wicket. Don't run, John Wright, that's 4. And he's going again in the air, 3 mid-wicket. And that's hit well too by John Wright. That's his 3rd 4.
Oh, lovely shot. That'll be 4. No question about that.
John Wright went on to make 57 today, and you're the Ubix MVP today, John. Congratulations, and here's the little trophy from Ubix. John, tell us about your innings. How do you think you batted today?
Oh, it was, you know, I timed the ball all right. Got away to a reasonable start. It was a very flat wicket. I think our bowlers did a great job today. You know, under the conditions, I think they did really well, and the fielding was good.
Once you'd restricted Sri Lanka to just over 200 by the end of their innings, were you always confident of getting up and beating them?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be confident, really. I mean, probably 240 plus would have been a better score on that wicket, and it, you know, it would have stretched us a bit because the pitch started to take turns. So, you know, we should win a game when we restrict Sri Lanka to 206. So, you know, it was a good effort by the bowlers and the fielders, I thought, really.
All right, New Zealand is 2 from 2 now, and South Africa to come on Saturday, and a little preparation job perhaps in front of the TV set tomorrow night.
Well, you know, that'll be a big game for us. You know, you'd like to win 5 really to get to the semis. We've started well. No one expected us probably to win on Saturday, and you know, we had to do the job today, so it's a big game for us on Saturday against South Africa.
And everything's clicking well within the team, obviously.
Well, you know, I think we've still got areas to work on. They'll be a tough side, but you know, we're pleased with our start. We've just got to keep up our performances, really.
And what's the story on that shoulder of yours? A sprain in the AC joint, the physiotherapist tells us today.
Yeah, I think that's the technical word for it. It's pretty sore, and so we'll just see how it scrubs up tomorrow.
The early graft is done. An excellent win today with Kenny Rutherford named the man of the match. There's a whole lot more to come. Bad news for Sri Lanka, though, in that they are calling for a replacement for their star paceman Rumesh Ratnayaka, whose shoulder injury is not improving. Thanks for staying the distance with us. If you're off to bed now, sleep well. On behalf of the One World of Sport team, good night.